ታደለሽ ገብረ ህይወት ካብ ምርኣይ ካብ ዝኸደአኒ ድማ 2 ዓመት ኮይኑኒ የመጣሁት ነስራ አዳሻ የመጣሁት
አረወና ነተረጋጋፍና ካመ ወለዲ ወላዲ የብለ ያድግ የምደቀ ወጥም ሁሉም ሀረት ሰው ሀረት ወረድ
Right off the top, I think this film really effectively sunk the viewer into the reality of a life affected by blindness, affected by lack of eye care and health care, just the gravity of poverty and starvation and the hopelessness that wasn't necessary, the hopelessness that could have been treated by a cataract surgery and what the potential possibilities could have been for these people. Just seeing how these doctors trained in cataract surgery have built the project from the ground up, I think was so wonderful to be invited in, to see their dedication and their creativity and the real community that's built and the steps along the way. And then to also see the eventual impact of that was just really inspirational and affirming. The precision and the detail of the surgeries captured in depth was really fascinating to see, and I love that they gave that detail so me as an audience member could see the immensity and see the skill, but also see the hope that results from it. So I think it was really effective filmmaking. I think it treated the audience as it didn't dumb the content down for the audience, and I think that made it that much more impactful.
This documentary really sets the stage immediately by portraying the dire situation of this elderly couple in Ethiopia, who she's gone blind within the last few years, which leaves them without a means of income and without any family support, because they don't have any children that can come through and help aid them. And you see this couple and this man who is sticking by his woman, even though, you know, they're running out of food, they're not able to support each other. And then it goes into the bigger issue about Ethiopia having the highest rate of blindness on the continent. And you see a lot of blind people in this area because of various issues that affect this area. And, you know, even to the point where we're using children as seeing eye aids. And this motivated, you know, someone to want to give back to the area. You have one ophthalmologist for 3 million people, and he's doing this without much funding or equipment. And so once you were able to provide him the equipment and the funding to do cataract surgeries, you started to see an immediate turnaround in just the amount of surgeries that can be done in 1 year. We went from being able to do 1,200 to 3,600 in the span of a year, which is quite a big jump. We go back to the couple and we find a solution for the elderly woman. She's able to get the cataract surgery now that those services are provided to the poor in her area. And when she gets her sight back, just the gratitude for her sight, it's just amazing. There's a few moments here where you got to see the sight restored, and it's such a glorious, happy moment when it comes to the mother who was unable to take care of her child. And in some cases, you see that some people aren't as lucky, and how it will affect their whole entire life and livelihood to not be able to see living in this area. And it really gave you a sense of an idea how just offering aspects of healthcare can really completely change the dynamic of a whole area. It could change the dynamics of family structure. It's very important. And I feel like this documentary brought light to that in a beautiful way.
That did a really good job of balancing its storytelling aspects with the parts of the film that were more informational. It works well as a film that's telling just an emotional story front to back, but it also does a really good job of raising awareness about a widespread, very serious issue that not a lot of people are aware of outside of the affected area. I think this is especially kind of pressing, and the film is especially important, especially effective, because as the documentary shows, this issue is so easily resolved with the right intervention. And I think that this film is doing a good job of not only bringing awareness to that and making the audience aware of that, but also showing how much good that intervention is doing, and how it's affecting the people, in this case in Ethiopia, who are suffering from blindness or near blindness. The story I thought was satisfying on an emotional level. I think that it will inspire others to contribute to helping resolve this issue through whatever means they're able. And I think it works well as a film on a lot of different levels.
Really inspiring documentary. I think it does an amazing job of explaining some of the obstacles and barriers to cataract surgery in other parts of the world, and also the prohibitive costs and the access and sort of the injuries that cause that even for children, and the wider spread impact of family members who can't see and how their children lose out on school because of it. I think it was really eye-opening, pun not intended, as a documentary, but it's so much more. It tells a really beautiful story about the doctors involved, about the research that took place, even about the procedure. We get to meet really amazing and brave people in it.
Deeply moving and inspiring. They talk about the cataract surgery that they are making accessible to thousands of patients with somehow adapted techniques that compensate for the lack of sufficient resources to take this care of this properly, but they have been making this more efficient, specifically in terms of time. They have been able to support thousands of people overcome their blindness through a very preventable and treatable disease or condition. The location and the production crew traveling between different towns and visiting Samuel Bora's family and other renowned doctors, including Larry Thomas, who founded the Tropical Health Alliance Foundation that takes care of all these surgeries. I loved how they also were filming directly at people's homes. You understand the dire situation they are in, and on top of the blindness, the lack of food and water, which are some of the causes of these cataracts. And you also understand so much more and have a deeper knowledge about how it can be prevented and treated successfully. So kudos to the filming production team. It is sad to see these conditions a lot of people in the planet live on, but I am grateful for your efforts on making this known for much and more people, and hopefully this foundation can support more people.
It has this really important story and a really important person and really important everything in there, and it tells it so well. You know, you see this man who wants to change his country and how he's doing that. And I think the way that this filmmaker shows that is done extremely well.